Do you get the cross? Could you really say that you understand what's going on here? Do we really know, like, why Jesus had to die? Why he chose to die? Why he allowed it to happen? Can we understand what he's trying to teach us from the cross? No greater love is a man than to lay down his life for his friends. Do we understand how it's possible that the cross can save us? How it's possible that grace comes forth from Christ crucified? How does all that work? For St. Paul, this was something that he thought about a lot. In 1 Corinthians 2:2, he says, I resolved to know nothing else except Jesus Christ and him crucified. For St. Paul, he was constantly reflecting on the passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus. This Lent, inspired by his example, I too have been kind of trying to reflect more deeply on the passion of Jesus, trying to be more united to Christ crucified. And one of the books that I found super helpful is this book, The Dolorous Passion of Our Lord Jesus Christ by Anne Catherine Emmerich. In this book, it's detailed her visions, the private revelations that she received that detail the passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Now, you don't have to believe this, right? You're not going to go to hell if you've never read this book. It's not the be-all and end-all. But what I love about it is that she helps to fill in some of the details. She gives some further things to think about, different angles to look at the same story of the Passion that we all know. We read the Gospels, everything is in there, right? All that we need to know is in there, sure. But there's lots more things that it's beneficial and fruitful to pray and to think about. And so what I would like to do in this little series is just to spend a little bit of time reflecting with you on some of the points that I thought are interesting from her book, some of the little details that, whether they're true or not, isn't the most important thing. They could be. This book has an imprimatur. There's nothing opposed to the faith. Whether you believe it or not, though, isn't the most important thing. My goal, my objective is just to give some further things to think about, so that when we're reading through the Passion, maybe we notice more subtleties. We notice maybe some more of those details, and they're maybe able to speak to us in a way that we haven't thought of before. So if you'd like to join me, my plan is just to put out a bunch of little short clips, just some of the points that I thought were interesting, and maybe there'll be some things for you to think about that might inspire you, that might foster deeper devotion and give you some things to pray about during this Holy Week. I know for all of us, we're stuck at home with this virus and everything going on. This is a good place, a good friend to have, a good place to go, a good friend to have during this time as we enter now into Holy Week and are contemplating the passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus.